No. Seriously.
Hey!
Hello!
Look, I can do this because Sam's not here. I've got more space to play with. You can see my pictures. You can see my hands. And everything's slightly off center. Move it that way.
Oh, man.
That way. Hang on.
How are you going to get through the next 30 minutes being slightly off center?
I don't know. One, surviving without Sam on the stream, and then two, just not being central. Like those two things alone are going to completely disrupt my day.
Which we've already done by avoiding an introduction entirely. But I think we should go with it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the new standard. And I also was late as well. I was doing school pickup, and I was like, yeah, I got time. Turns out, no, I can't do school pickup on a Monday and making about HR Breakfast USA. So note to self: this is only this. Yeah, do not do that again.
How is school going? Is it? I assume it's like a new thing, right? Like just started?
So the eldest has started school. She started last week. She did half days last week, and today is her first full day.
Aww.
And she is loving it, and we are loving it because she is at the house more. I love her, but like half days.
No, it's good for everyone.
Half days last week was like because my wife came back off maternity leave that week, so she started back at work last week. I was working, and then half days. I'm like, oh goodness, just like let's get some full days of school in, then we know what life is like. Hey, Callie. It's been 2 weeks since we did one of these because there was August bank holiday here in the UK and then a little something called Labor Day over there in the US. What's Labor Day?
It is a holiday that celebrates the worker. So traditionally through like unions and that sort of thing. So a little tenuous if you think about the dynamics around that these days. But everyone enjoys the day, regardless of how they choose to celebrate or what part of it they choose to acknowledge.
That is so weird. So the Sunday before Labor Day, in my tiny little village here in the east of Anglia in the UK, there is this village is home to the longest strike by a union in the UK, which is about 25 years. So the first Sunday of every September, loads of unions come to our village and have a festival. Like there's a stage, there's music, there's speeches, there's loads of stuff that goes on. And so I actually probably spent most of my Labor Day actually probably celebrating the origins of Labor Day, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. That is super fun. I had a few years where I was involved with a birth rights group, and so I would spend Labor Day protesting fair and safe, like physical birthing labor practices. So that was a kind of a fun hijacking of the holiday, but I haven't done that in probably 10 years now.
Fair enough. We've all got stuff to do. You just do it online now, can't you? Twitter or
Pretty
X. So 2 weeks. 2 weeks have gone. We've got a lot to catch up on, but and we haven't had time to catch up as well because, as the aforementioned lateness by myself means that the preparation for this call was less than ideal. Our dear friend Sam is actually flying back from Miami to the UK as we speak, so she ain't around. What are we going to talk about today in Sam's absence?
Disrupt HR.
Wow, I did one of those last week. I did a Disrupt HR Birmingham, but
Birmingham?
It was good. It was good. It was really good. It was really good. I did Disrupt HR Birmingham on a Thursday night, and then did a whole day conference on last Friday. And I am socialed out. It is going to take me till the 1st of October to truly recover from the overwhelm of spending 24 hours with literally hundreds of people. But we're not talking about Disrupt HR Birmingham because that's in the UK, and this is Disrupt Breakfast HR. No, it's HR Breakfast USA. So it's going to be a USA based Disrupt, right? Where is it? What are we talking
Minneapolis. Yes.
Woo!
So Toby and I get to meet for the first time in real person, which is super exciting. Sam and I have met in person before, but so excited to have Toby coming. And
I'm gonna be there. You're gonna be there. We're both gonna be there.
we're both going to be there. We're also going to have a Monday where the three of us are together. So we'll have to have something really special planned for HR Breakfast USA, given that fact.
Yeah. Oh, I'd not even thought of that. So crazy has been the past 2 weeks that I've not given a lot of thought to most things.
Same, same.
It's just been one of those. So, Disrupt HR, Minneapolis and Paul. What's going down? What should we be excited for? What should the viewers be excited for at this incredible event?
Everything. Everything about Disrupt Minneapolis is exciting. We have an incredible lineup. Not even biased that Toby is among the amazing lineup, but we've got a incredible crew of professionals who really just know their industry inside and out, or their little niche within the world of HR. And so it's going to be an incredibly well thought out group of presentations, which I think is first and foremost the most exciting thing. We've got some fun returning people from last year, and I'm not going to spoil the surprise on what those individuals are doing. And it's just a really, really great opportunity to network with really high quality, disruptive professionals in the industry. We're really, really excited about the people who take the time to come out to Disrupt Minneapolis.
So are you one of the people that's returning from last year? Are you counting yourself in that you're one of the exciting people?
I mean, I am. I will be there. But I was not counting myself. I was talking about a couple of, we've got a little surprise intermission that's going to come from a couple of our speakers last year.
Whoa. Now I'm excited because I have no idea what that is. And I'm like, oh, what now? There's some stuff I don't know about. And I get FOMO very, very easily. So now
you don't even have to have FOMO because you're going to be there.
Oh, yeah. What's the fear of not knowing? Is that a thing? Like fear of not knowing what's happening?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that acronym
fear
or
of
initialism
not what's
is.
Going on. I don't know. It doesn't spell a word.
I also have that fear. Tell me all the details.
Yeah, what's happening? Oh,
No
why? Yeah, why is? I want to know what the surprise is. Don't leave me out. I want to know. So we got surprises. We've got amazing speakers. How many? Well, hang on. Let's backtrack a minute. So for those watching who don't know what the Disrupt HR format is, what is it? Well, what do we? You mentioned there's loads of cool speakers and loads of cool stuff going on, but what kind of particular challenge are they facing up to at Disrupt HR?
Yeah. So as if public speaking isn't hard enough, to disrupt HR, you need 5 minutes with 20 slides that auto advance every 15 seconds. And then you're done. You get pushed off the stage. Not literally, hopefully.
It's intense, right? So how many have I done? I think I was speaking to someone else who is doing one, and we were in competition. I think we're both on 9.
Wow.
So this is going to be my 10th one. And I'll tell you what, don't get easier. I'm writing mine at the moment, and it does not get easier. I'm like, what am I going to put here? And what am I saying? Like, I think I should just rock up with no slides and try and last 5 minutes. Like, that would probably be enough. I'm not doing that. I am preparing. But boy, oh boy, it's tricky. What a gauntlet the speakers are having to undertake. And it's a real, like, not only are you speaking about disruptive things in HR, but you also are doing it in quite a disruptive format that doesn't feel natural. But it's super energizing. Like, because how many speakers are there? 12 speakers?
We'll have 12 speeches, but we have one duo this year. So I'm really excited to see how they piece that together.
Oh, we're just finding out all the juicy gossip here. There's a surprise intermission from a returning guest. There is a duo doing it. I have never, like I say, Disrupt HR veteran. I have never seen a duo do it.
I hadn't either. I actually reached out to Jennifer and was like, is this okay? Am I going to get like in trouble with my license? And she was like, no, I've seen up to 6 people. So,
whoa! But you have done a duo of a Disrupt HR, because it was you and a banjo or a ukulele. Oh. That's a duo, right?
Fun fact. So Kyle, one of our speakers, is the only other person that I know who's brought up an instrument on stage in past Disrupts. I don't think he's doing it this time. I mean, if he does, that's a surprise to me. But he's used a guitar, so we bonded over bringing instruments and making what's already hard 10 times harder by adding the element of trying not to sound like an idiot on an instrument.
I like yours because it's like you have your own like jingle to like set you. It's like, here's Callie's audio sting. Like,
Yeah, well, and everyone started clapping. So.
Yeah, it's just gonna be 5 minutes of just you playing the banjo and then no talking. Could you imagine? That's my 5 minutes. Now, here's a first. Has anyone ever done one as a song? There's no rules against doing it as a song, maybe?
Oh man. That would be interesting.
Song, a 5 minute song as well. Like songs are 3.5 minutes. Who's doing 5 minutes?
I was going to say, so a 5-minute song is kind of painful.
Like that's not only have you got to write a song specifically about HR that goes in time with 20 auto advancing 15-second slides, but you've also got to make the song 5 minutes, which is longer than your probably average song, or shorter than the average song unless you're Bruce Springsteen or someone like that who typically does 48-minute songs. Too long.
No Bohemian Rhapsody, please.
How long is Bohemian Rhapsody? I'm gonna have to Google that. I'm not
like
gonna do it now.
7 or 8 minutes.
Is it? It's such a fun song, but it always seems to pass so quickly. I don't know, but I am British, so like it is like our sub-national anthem, Bohemian Rhapsody. Like there is a radio station here in the UK that does like the best of British. These are the best British rock songs, and every Bank Holiday Monday, which is a holiday here in May, they do this, and Bohemian Rhapsody usually comes up at the top. Like it's
one of my favorite foot in mouth moments was saying there's a special place in hell for people who do Bohemian Rhapsody at karaoke, just because it's so long and most people like can't pull it off in any reasonable way, shape, or form. At least the people that choose to do it that I've witnessed. But I said this to a brother-in-law who then was like, I don't get it. Why? And I was like, oh, because it's way too long. And he was like, oh, that's my go-to.
So hey, here's a little tidbit of information that you didn't know. I used to DJ a karaoke night when I was at university.
Really?
That was my side hustle. I'd do a karaoke night.
Okay, we should talk about that because I have a business idea around it.
I think karaoke bars are already a thing, but that's okay. We can.
It's not
the karaoke bar. Why not have alcohol and karaoke booths fused together into some horrific like that? Doesn't who came up with the idea of karaoke bars is insane, because the karaoke booth, sorry, like you're trapped in a room with like 10 other people and like you literally can't escape the sound. Anyway, so there was 2 people who would come every week. There was a few people that came every week because my karaoke nights were phenomenal, but there's these 2 people and they would duet Phantom of the Opera, which goes on for a long, not the whole musical, but the Phantom of the Opera song.
I love that you clarified that you didn't just let people sign up for the entire musical.
Yeah, can you do a musical for me? So there was someone who did that, and then there was another person who did Meatloaf, Paradise by the Dashboard Light, because in that there's a whole monologue of like someone commentating on a baseball match in the middle of it, and she would full on know every single word to that, and I was like, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But that song goes, I think that is like a 10-minute song, but I don't know. Let's have a look. I'm gonna have a look. But that I think that's like an 8-minute song. Yeah, 8.5 minutes. Selfish. Don't come up to my karaoke night and do that. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
Songs are hard for the average person to listen to. Like, I don't care how good you are. I don't want to listen to you karaoke for 5 minutes.
No, it's a very selfish endeavor, karaoke. Like, even people who are great at singing, you're just like, well, this isn't fun because you're supposed to be rubbish.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't American Idol or whatever, right? This is just us getting drunk singing. Yeah,
I agree 100%. People who showboat at karaoke, like, find somewhere else. Go join community theater.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is not the arena for you to do this kind of stuff. I used to entertain a certain age bracket. I used to do the Righteous Brothers. You've Lost That Loving Feeling. The Top Gun song, right? The scene from Top Gun.
Yeah.
There is a particular age of woman that absolutely loves that being sung to them. And I imagine you know what I'm talking about, but just like I then led into it as like an 18-year-old. I was like, hey, I'm popular. I'm popular with the middle-aged crowd here, singing, pretending I'm Tom Cruise, not looking anything like Tom Cruise. Anyway, we get incredibly distracted. This is why sound's important.
This is all for my entertainment. This is the time we get to talk every week, and I'm taking full advantage.
So karaoke isn't happening at Disrupt HR Minneapolis, but we got 12 speakers all doing their phenomenal thing. We've got a secret intermission. You're returning, which is great. I'm going to be there, which is okay. What other things? There must be. Have you got any other secrets that you can tell us to entice people to come and witness some greatness?
It's not a secret, but I one of the things I'm most excited about is our photo experience. So last year we did headshots, and people were very surprised that they were professional quality headshots, despite being told we'll have a professional photographer and it's going to take a normal, event or wedding photography turnaround time. Everyone was still like, wow, this is really good, actually. Anyway, so since we just did headshots last year, didn't want to have something that people were like, I just did this. I just got a headshot. And so we're doing a staged background, like real background, like couch kind of background, where you can do group photos with the people that you attend with. So we had people last year who used our headshot background to take group photos. So we're like, well, let's just give them that. So we'll have a photography assistant who will help get groups of, 3 to 5 kind of staged on this fun background. So come take a fun picture with the cool people that you're attending Disrupt HR with.
So we're going to get a new cover photo for HR Breakfast USA with all three of us
Yes!
together, right?
Yes, we are. 100%.
That is so cool. That is so cool. We've we've done a 10-minute conversation about karaoke. Let's get down to some of the more important things. When is it?
October 1st.
So
a little change
Tuesday?
from last year if people were there last year. It's 3:30 p.m. Central Time will be the start of the networking and the photography time, some appetizers, there'll be a cash bar. And then we'll get started with the event about 4:30. No intermission. We'll just keep things running, get people through, and then you'll have some time to finish up conversations and, figure out your next move. I know there's some interesting after party ideas that people have in the works. So, hopefully people will talk to the
karaoke.
right people for that. I know. I was like, anybody who wants to come with me to karaoke, I think that's what should happen for me. But
I'm down with that. I can certainly.
you're going to be so over being around people, you're not going to want to go karaoke.
Yeah, no, when I say karaoke, I mean, I'm just going to have a karaoke booth to myself. I'm just going to sing to myself, drink in a quiet, dark room. That's it. October 1st. So it's very soon. It's less than a month. I don't know why I looked at the calendar. It's less than a month away.
Sure is.
And it's in Minneapolis, St. Paul, obviously. But where specifically in those dueling towns?
The Metropolitan Ballroom and what is
Clubhouse.
it? Clubhouse. Thank you.
Sorry, I've got it written here. I'm asking the question. The magic of live streaming, everybody. I'm asking Callie questions I already know the answer to.
Except for the surprise.
Except for the surprise, I genuinely have no idea about what it is. However, when this stream ends, you can bet your $1 I'm going to be staying on here asking Callie what's going on. The Metropolitan Ballroom and Clubhouse. They are some of the 3 of the fanciest words put together for the name of a venue ever. Metropolitan. Ooh. Ballroom. Ooh. Clubhouse. Exclusive. Why are we doing it there? What's so cool about it?
Well, it's a great venue. It's also a venue that people are familiar with and comfortable with. So the drama of last year's Disrupt HR event was that President Joe Biden was speaking across the street from our venue, and I would say 2/3 of our audience was able to make it through the Secret Service and police barricades to get to the event. And so we are playing it very safe to say, please come to this venue that runs well, has parking on site, is not going to have Joe Biden speaking across the street, and we'll all have a lovely evening.
So you know for sure that Joe Biden. Well, I mean, the chance
I
of Joe Biden
mean,
speaking is pretty rare now, I think. But
yeah, I can almost guarantee that Joe Biden won't be speaking at that.
there is a Disrupt HR Minneapolis St. Paul promise. I can almost guarantee that Joe Biden won't. Can't completely. You might want to go like maybe get him along, see if he wants to do Disrupt Talk.
He would do a fantastic job, I'm
He's
sure.
not busy at the moment. No, is he still busy? Is he still actually a functioning president, even though he stepped out the race? Okay, right. So he is
So
busy.
until January, he
Yeah.
will be the president.
Okay, so next year, next year, Joe Biden Disrupt HR Minneapolis St. Paul.
I
Biden
mean,
going to
it's
be
the
there.
least he could do.
It is the you know what? Every time I see him on TV, I think it's the least he could do. He was in Parks and Recreation, the TV show, so it like for me, this is just the next natural step.
Right.
Surely, yeah. Okay, good.
Can we talk about the format though? Because I would love your perspective on it. I'm a baby compared to you. I'm in the process of prepping my third disrupt for Disrupt Fargo Moorhead, which is where I live. Super excited that they'll have me back again. But I think it's like, as a speaker, it is the best opportunity to just cut through the BS and figure out what are the things I actually need to say. No qualifiers, with intention, right? Like I feel like it's the best way to just say I need to get a message out and do it in a good way. Like I can't think of another specific format that's had as influential of it has had as much influence on future speaking events as the Disrupt format has on how I prep and present anything after doing Disrupts. Thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts. Okay, because you summed it up pretty well there. I like. So let's talk about some of okay, there's two things. The world of work has kind of corrupted the idea of what a presentation should be, because work presentations are usually awful. I remember working at a FTSE 100 company here in the UK for about 7 years, and I saw so many people present, and I was so bowled by all of them. They were all rubbish. They didn't engage the audience. They were doing it for themselves more than their audience. And I thought, why am I wasting my time doing this? And then, bam! 3 years later, I left. It's that instant. So I think that's the problem, right? The world of work has created this environment where bad presentations are allowed and they don't inspire and engage. Point one. Point two is stand-up comedians. Stand-up comedians are probably the best presenters, storytellers in our society, because they get up there and they can engage an audience without any visuals. And I think that's really important, right? Because also the Disrupt HR format, whilst there are those slides, you've got 15 seconds a slide. You ain't putting any text on those slides because nobody got time to read them. So
Yeah.
you essentially you are going slideless. You've got some nice images to augment what you're saying. So stand-up comedians are their proving ground is doing a type 5, honing and crafting a 5-minute set, and they tour that, they take that around to open mic nights, and then they do another type 5 and another type 5, and then all of a sudden they've got a type 15, and then they're doing stadiums and all this kind of stuff. So I think this format works so well for getting you into a space where a keynote is really easy. For some people, doing a 45-minute keynote is like, couldn't think anything worse. Do this first, do a few of these first, and you get yourself into the place where you're just comfortable being on stage. And that's what stand-up comedians do. And that's why I think Disrupt HR kind of has mirrors like the stand-up scene, like the 5 minutes open mic. Disrupt, right? 5 minutes, pretty much open mic. Anyone can throw their name in the hat to speak. So I think just having that ability to do it with your peers, and there ain't no worse people to present to than your peers. I hate I would rather present to people I don't know and will never see again. They are my favorite people to present to. People I'm going to network with afterwards. Yeesh. So it's a tremendous amount of pressure. But so anybody watching who's coming, chill out. It's fine. It's a tremendous amount of pressure, but it's hugely rewarding in terms of your own kind of personal development and maybe achieving some personal objectives, even work objectives, right? So I don't think there's many better formats than that. And the third bonus point is that you get a variety of speakers as well. I think that's key. Speakers you wouldn't ordinarily hear from. I think we've all been to conferences where you kind of go, oh, this speaker again, talking about this book. Oh, this speaker again, talking about, their other book. And you're just like, let's hear from some different people from both sides of the fence who work inside companies, who work with companies, fractional haters. Let's hear from a variety of people who we don't usually hear from. I think when you bring all that together, it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I'm trying to. Oh, so in your background, you have a trainer, right? You have
A
a little
what?
trainer, a sneaker.
Yeah.
They're called trainers here in the UK, and I was just like, that doesn't mean anything to anybody. A sneaker. Last year you did Disrupt HR sneakers for all the speakers.
Yes.
Sneakers for the speakers. Like it. What thing that rhymes with speakers are you going to give people this year?
That is a surprise.
Damn it! I don't think you just like aimlessly. Oh, we're going to each give them, £100 gift card for Target. I have a list. So my grandmother on my father's side used to go to the States a lot. I've got a list of stuff I need to go. I have to go to Walgreens, sorry, and pick her some stuff up.
Walgreens?
Stuff I'm not sure I'm legally allowed to technically bring back to the UK to be complete. I got this really nice medicine from Walgreens. I want you to pick
Google
up.
that.
Yeah, I know, right? She's like, oh, it's fine. I brought it back before. I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. So I don't know what I'm packing in my suitcase.
I'll give you a pair of shoes. You can stick them in.
Yeah, just something that I don't. So whether I bring it back or not, I don't know. But there we go. That's the British perspective on taking a trip to the US. Is like, what do all your friends and family want to bring back? Essentially. So I don't know what present I'm getting. Are you getting any presents?
Am I for me?
Do you think anyone will bring you a present?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it is, am I? So yeah,
please, obscure regional references that you don't explain, and then they randomly come up in conversation 6 months later. That's the goal. Your socks that I gave you, and then didn't explain.
Big John, what's his name? The fella?
No.
Something like that. Gary
Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox.
Paul Bunyan.
The pausing was me remembering the name of the character. So.
Can I tell you something really annoying about those socks that I only noticed last week? This is just a real deep dive into how my brain works. So they are socks, and usually the feature image of the sock sits on the outside so people can see it.
Yeah, right.
Paul Bunyan on these socks, they're both on the left hand side. So when I put the socks on, two Paul Bunyans facing that way, I ain't got one facing out.
Oh, that would annoy
How weird's that? It's like I've got two left socks. I'm not saying buy me more socks. I'm just saying, whoever you bought them from, but they were sold together, they were attached together. So it's not like you picked up two socks and went, these will do. Oh, I accidentally got two left socks. I've got Paul Bunyan facing. He's always facing left. He never faces right. So I don't know if is that in the legend of Paul Bunyan that he always looked left or something. I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not an expert in Paul Bunyan folklore. I just spilled coffee all over my floor. But I don't think that that's part of the legend.
I'm interested. Have you read any of the comments that have come into the live stream?
No, I'm not seeing them. They must be on your side.
I think this might be a bot, or it's at least been ChatGPT'd, because it says disrupting Minneapolis could involve challenging the status quo, whether in social, economic, or cultural context. This might mean advocating for systematic change in areas like social justice, housing, or education, or introducing innovative approaches to community development and sustainability. That is only half of what has been written in the comments. Doesn't feel like that's a genuine. I mean, first of all, they've called it disrupting Minneapolis, which is not what it's called.
Well, and so
your post,
your post about your world tour
Yes.
I tried to comment as Disrupt HR Minneapolis, and I could not do that. I could only like the post. And so I
Ah,
don't know how this bot is even commenting on
you can't comment, but so I'm not going to get into that because I have the same issue with some other posts. I think there's a setting I need to change on LinkedIn. Let's not get distracted. People are still watching. Let's leave that to the side. So let's just recap before we check out. We have Disrupt HR Minneapolis happening on the 1st of October at the Metropolitan Ballroom and Clubhouse. I just looked it up. It's fancy as hell. I'm having to rethink my outfit choice because I feel like I should be wearing some sort of top hat or I'm British, right? It's a bowler hat.
you bring a monocle.
I come here with a cane and I'll come on a red bus and go what. So it's happening. It's happening. All of them are recorded as well, right? So everyone gets a video of these talks as well, and they go on some sort of webby site.
Yeah. So you can go check out our last event. Our phenomenal speakers, our amazing AV company, Livewire did a fantastic job for us. They're coming back again this year, but all of those videos can be found on the Disrupt HR website.
That's very cool. That's very cool. I think there's only one more thing we need to say. How do we get to go, Callie? How do we make this happen? How do we get tickets?
Come to our website, disrupthrmsp.com, and you can purchase tickets directly there.
Nice. And is there any? Oh, the code ran out last week, didn't it? Doesn't go over to this week. You had a code.
No, but pro tip: if you register in the next hour, I haven't taken it down yet, so
find the code, everybody. Is it Pioneer? Was it
Proactive?
Oh, so close. Unfortunately, I'm
trying to guilt HR people into planning ahead. You want to be proactive, don't you?
I want to be proactive, but I am definitely not. Hence why, even though the deadline has passed, I have not given you my presentation yet. Tells you how proactive this guy is. Right. We miss you, Sam, if you're watching. We hope you're having a lovely flight. I imagine you're flying exclusively first class. Sam screams that she will only be flying first class with a glass of champagne and some caviar, possibly. Either that or she's slumming it in economy next to someone who just will not stop leaning on her. Either way, Sam, we hope you're having a safe journey. What are we talking about next week, Callie?
Oh, man. Don't do that to me.
It's something about induction, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah. And onboarding.
Induction and onboarding. Don't waste your money. Something like that, wasn't it? Don't waste your money. Do it right. So we're going to be talking induction onboarding next week. We'll probably tease some more Disrupt HR stuff because I'm going to literally force these secrets out of Callie.
By then, you'll have written your presentation.
Here's hoping. I'm doing it today. I'm doing it today. I was at a couple of events last week and I was like, oh, today's the 6th. I'll do it on the train home. And then I fell asleep on the train home.
Fair.
So you have my apologies and gratitude for not being terribly annoyed at me. Or maybe you are and you're just not doing it on this stream. With that, say goodbye, Callie.
Goodbye. See you next week.